Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to talk about something interesting I found. We're also going to talk about mirroring and is this really what's going on? So twin studies are pretty interesting, and I've kind of delved into that a little bit, but I was scrolling through Facebook, came across this thing about different actors and actresses, little quirks about them. So I was scrolling, I see Mary-Kate and Ashley Olson, and they have a picture on Full House, and they say in the Full House episode, it seems that Michelle, the character, is ambidextrous. She can use either her right or her left hand. And they said that's because one of them is right-handed, the other is left-handed. So before I read the little caption about that, I scrolled back up because I'm like, I bet you it's Ashley that is right-handed. And a lot of times babies in the crib, especially twins, will mirror each other. So the dominant child uses usually their right hand, and then the other one mimics because of that mirror image. I raise my right hand for you to mimic that. It's going to be your left hand. And I picked Ashley because she seems more together, a little bit more dominant. And you know, Mary-Kate had some eating disorders. It's interesting. She married somebody so much older than her. Just the different things that I know about them. I had picked Ashley. So are these twin studies? Is there anything to it? There is some genetic components, and I'm not saying they're narcissists, but the twin studies, there is some traits that we see consistently throughout different twin studies. Also, the mirroring is what I want to bring to you guys is as we grow up, we mirror our parents. That's how we learn well, basically what to like, how to act, what's funny, what's not funny, what's appropriate, inappropriate, and just facial expressions. Like, do we shrug things off or do we giggle at it? A lot of our personality comes from our parents, and when the parents are different, one's going to start to overcompensate and the other, that's how a lot of narcissists are made. One overcompensates, or they're just built up too much, there's too much violence, there's a bunch of different things that go into making a narcissist. But the mirroring, when we're in the love bombing stage, we're mirroring each other. And just like Mary-Kate and Ashley, it worked in the beginning. They were learning. We're kind of learning each other. We're enjoying it. But as the girls got older, I'm going to do hypotheticals because I haven't studied them in depth. I've kind of watched them. I kind of like them. But there's a lot of pressures on them. How did the parents treat them? What was also too, there's some traumatic stuff. I think they wanted to keep Ashley on Full House and let Mary-Kate go. Maybe she was more in tune with working. I wasn't so much of a little girl. She was possibly just fell into place easier. I don't know, easier to memorize the lines or attention span, whatever. And it kind of makes you wonder the trauma from that. Your twin sister is being picked over you, like that probably hurts. Same exact character. It's not like they're getting rid of a character, it's the same character. And the feelings of inadequacy, rise to stardom, then shot down, but John Stamos stood up for her, told her, hang in there. But we learn so much, and there's almost like a break off time that kind of seems to also go with the narcissistic relationships. They're feeding off the supply, and then they want their independence back, in a sense. That's why they cheat. That's why they do their own thing and ignore us. It's a cycle. They did there's like 3 cycles in our life, according to I want to say Freud, but it's like 3 cycles. I believe it's Freud. The infantile, and then as you get older, there's 3 different stages. And relationships with a narcissist go through cycles. All relationships have good and bad times, but it's almost like The narcissist wants to start anew, a new venture. They're not happy with what they have. They're unsettled with it. And, they might take trips with you. They might do this, they might do that, but nothing is filling that void that they have inside. So they're always looking for something else. They're all like they process things at a more juvenile state. So they start getting jealous, they start having resentment. Um, they use lies to hide accountability. So our situation is it's just the dynamics, and it takes time for those dynamics to destroy what shouldn't be destroyed, if it was handled in a healthy way. But the mirroring really has some depth to it. They talk about you fell in love with yourself. And I keep saying at first I thought it was a bunch of BS, but the more you think about it, that's when you felt alive. That's when you were able to express yourself. And then you start getting devalued. And this is where it's hard, is like we kind of don't understand it, because our narcissist was enjoying it too, but then they started picking it apart instead of building it up. It's just the way they handle things. They manipulate to get what they want instead of talking through it and working on making things better, working on constantly improving things. They take things personally. Even when you try to say something nice, it's just an unhealthy state that destroys the relationship. And it's mind blowing, because we don't know what we did wrong. We don't know what we did wrong because they won't communicate, or they'll tell us we should have known, or I've already told you. And they might have told us something, but they didn't tell us that it was bothering them, you know. Uh like maybe it's not the best example, like I wish you could have picked me up Friday. And we take it as, I wish you could have picked me up Friday, but I couldn't. But they're holding resentment on that. And we're thinking, oh, you missed me, you wish I would have come over to see you. It's just poor communication. And when we get off balance, we pull from our childhood to deal with things, because we can't pull from the future. We don't know the future yet. The present doesn't seem right. Something's off. Where are we going to pull from? We're going to pull from what we know. So we're pulling from our childhood. They're pulling from theirs. Theirs is very toxic. And that's what caused them to become narcissistic. We're pulling from something healthy. You mix the two together and it's still unhealthy. How do you fix that? Get rid of the negativity. But the narcissist doesn't want to get rid of the negativity to come into a healthy relationship. And then if you get caught in that cycle of reactive abuse, we start spewing in some negativity, and it destroys the relationship. We look back and we realize the things that we can realize that we did wrong, but the narcissist doesn't want to talk about it because they take it personally. They also don't trust things. Like if we say, look, I just want to talk to you. You have a safe spot here. Say what you feel. I'm not going to leave you. I just want to understand you. But they won't believe that, because they would bullshit us. They might say that to us, but they're like, you say the wrong thing, I'm out of here. They just want to protect themselves. So they don't trust us, even if we're trustworthy. And I want to get more into the twin studies, because there is something to it. They do some where they separate the twins, study it. They have found some genetic similarities as far as narcissism, different kinds of mental illness. Some types are hereditary, some are not. Some are permanent, some are temporary. The thing with the narcissist is their brain is permanently like that. Their brain is permanently like that. They might be able to change their actions, but they can't change their brain. And for any growth, it's going to be a struggle for them. It's going to be going against their brain. Just like when we were in our reactive abuse, that's us going against our normal way of handling things. It gets uncomfortable. We did it, but it was uncomfortable. It was due to stress. Um, the narcissist is going to go through stress trying to handle things the right way. They're going to get tired of, it's almost like they have to walk on eggshells. And you know what that was like when we were walking on eggshells trying to please our partner. They don't want to do that. They won't sacrifice that. And it's their way or the highway. They have built up a defense mechanism where they can shut people out like a light switch and not look back and hold grudges. Um, a lot of times when somebody holds a grudge, you cannot break that grudge. And you think about it, it's like how toxic it gets. You know, two people who loved each other supposedly break up, even if they had a fight. The toxicity that comes out of these relationships, the keying cars, popping tires, even more severe stuff that I don't want to give anybody any ideas on. Just the horrendous acts that are done against somebody they love. You know, and be careful you don't do that too, with reactive abuse or trying to cope or give them their karma. Let karma happen to them. If you guys believe in that. I believe in the butterfly effect where every little thing unfolds, you know, just let it unfold for the narcissist, but let your life flourish. Don't worry so much about the new supply. Don't worry so much about the narcissist. Worry about what's best for you. You know, and some of you out there that are ruminating, hoping to get back with your narcissist, you really got to use logical thinking instead of emotional thinking. And that's hard to do because we're feeling our emotions right now. And we want the emotions to kind of settle out. We want answers. We want to understand, you know, we're wondering what we did wrong. We can't bury the burden that it was all our fault. A lot of narcissists will say things like that or make you feel that way. You know, if toxicity wasn't brought into it, it wouldn't fall apart. But, you know, we just have to find a comfort within ourselves that, you know, moving forward, it's better to have a healthy person with us. And, you know, as far as different mental illnesses and stuff, certain people can heal, but the narcissist, that portion of their brain isn't there. You know, do they have the capability? They have the capability of faking it. Just take that to heart. They have the capability of faking it. So, you know, a lot of times in old age, they get bitter. Not always. They don't, it's weird because I had a viewer reply like, they're so grandiose that they're not always alone. They're alone in their heart. They could have tons of people. That's why I give this analogy of like me going to the beach. I'm surrounded by a ton of people. You know, I go to school. I'm a teacher, surrounded by a lot of really nice, good people from, at least professionally. They treat you really nice. The kids are always wonderful, unless they throw their temper tantrums, but they're kids, they're still wonderful. So you're around people who care, but you still go home and you're still longing for your person. I feel that that's the depth of a love relationship with the narcissist, not going home longing for somebody. They can be with someone and they'll secure that. They're almost never without somebody. So I go home and I'm alone, longing for who I love. If they're home, their type of, I need to have stimulation would be equivalent to being with a lover who has the connection that I have with my coworkers or the kids at school, not on a super deep level. It's somebody around. And they gravitate towards the one who gives them the most supply in a well-rounded area. Um, it's it's they don't want to fill their void with love. That's the difference. They want to be loved. They don't want the exchange of love. They want to be adored, but then it's uncomfortable for them and they flip a switch and turn everything onto us. Or they're searching for supply, thinking that it can get away with things. They like to do sneaky things. They get a kick out of that. They like to play practical jokes. And just in casual conversation, you get to the point where you're like, I just asked if you put the salad dressing back in their fridge, and like they can't even answer that, you know. So they start either telling you they did and they didn't, or that they'll make you put extra effort in. Like if you had just said yes, I wouldn't have to go back downstairs and check. They cause like your life to be more difficult than it needs to be, just because of poor communication or pranks or little lies. It starts to wear thin after a while. And they like doing that. They like getting a rise out of us. The more time goes by, the more they stimulate those rises. They start giving us triggers. They don't listen to our communication, and it all just falls apart. So the mirroring, that's when you fell in love with yourself. You saw yourself, but then it switched and you saw yourself in the narcissist. They were bringing out narcissistic traits because they're two different people. One's going to be in control and one isn't. And the narcissist is the one that has to be in control. You know, the dominant one usually takes over and the other one follows. So once that narcissist takes over, it's toxic and they won't relinquish their reign. So it's going to stay toxic. They're not going to come eye to eye. They like being empowered too much. And they fooled us. We thought we were having a exchange of love. It was just an overpowering is what was happening. And they fooled us because they kept us at an even keel during that love bombing stage where we're investing more, and then they start testing us, having us invest more and more and more until the tables are flipped, that it's not even anymore. They outreigned us and we couldn't see ourselves anymore. We couldn't see ourselves in the mirror because they shattered that mirror and they showed us who they are, and it turned into that mirroring. If you could have kept it on an even keel, you both are giving back beautiful vibes. But unless it's two beautiful people, as far as kind-hearted and loving, one's going to overpower the other, just, you know, and change the person. If Mary-Kate was born a single birth, she probably would have been right-handed. That's my guess. It happens every now and then. Like my brother, he should have been left-handed. I have two sisters. They were single births. They're right-handed. More males, I believe, are left-handed. Trying to remember that. I believe that's correct. But that's my take. Mary-Kate probably would have been right-handed, but she mirrored the dominant sister. So twin studies are pretty interesting. Let me know of any twin studies you would like to know about, and I'll do some research for you. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.